Welcome back, guys. Today I'll be showing you the easiest ways to make coins on EAFC. So if you're new around here and you need a team like mine, or you want to complete that hero SBC, you are in the right place. So make sure to subscribe. You'll be in for the chance of winning one of 9 copies of EAFC or sets of FIFA points. All you've got to do is sub and send proof over on Instagram. And if you do want some coins in a bit of a quicker way, well, if you guys are fed up of coming against nicks like me and foot champs who use loans and OP cards from day one,
I'm getting really sick of you! Get out now!
Then you need to head over to mitchcactus.com, where not only can you buy the cheapest and most reliable FIFA coins on the EA market, you'll find over 10,000 reviews from people who have used the services and enjoyed them in the past. So make sure to head over to mitchcactus.com and use code RECALL for 5% off. And for those of you who've noticed this on my arm, I was sparring Salt Pappy the other day and I extended my arm too wrong and I think I've torn my bicep, so we have an ice pack. So first of all, the easiest way to make coins on EAFC is going to be lazy listing. Essentially, Sauerbrum right now goes for, on Footbin, it's 8.2k, which means I've actually made a decent bit of her already if I were to just list her at 8.2, but we're going to list her at 8.7. So it's 500 coins over what she's worth, not miles above, but slightly above, which means what's likely to happen is someone's going to go on, they're going to search her, maybe in the last 5 minutes of the listing, and they're just going to buy it. It's one of the last few, they'll just buy it lazily. And although that seems like something you're really betting on, it's not. It happens so often. So what we're going to do is we're going to list all of my 85s at the same price, at that kind of 8.7. And what will happen is, if I list these all at the same time, you're probably looking at, realistically, one of them's probably going to get bought. Then I'll relist them, then another one will get bought. And maybe after about 3 or 4 listings, all 3 of those will go, and I'll make myself an extra sort of 1 or 2k just off of that lazy listing. Now, another way you can take advantage of lazy listing is if you go to your club. If I go, for example, high to low based on value, let's have a look at some of my high to low fodder. So let's see what I can get listed up. So for the meantime, it's going to just be potentially getting me some value. So let's have a look where they start. Okay, I don't have a lot in terms of tradable fodder, which is fine. We're just going to find what this kind of value is. So right now, 51k probably seems about right for a lazy listing. It looks like he's actually going for about 37k, so we're going to pop him up on a 40 for the lazy listing. Footbin is crashing on me right now, so we're just going to have to try and work out the prices ourselves. For a Cobble here, we're probably looking at, let's have a look. I would say 18k probably is a reasonable one for a lazy. I mean, let's just check if Footbin loads. So we're going to assume this guy is probably worth, I mean, there's a couple 18s there. We got some a little bit under. We're going to pop them up for 18. I think that's probably a little bit over. And we'll do the same for our Neuers. So we're making a little bit extra on these cards. And of course, they're not going to sell immediately. Sometimes it will take 1 or 2 listings. But if you've got a tradable team, and I'll be honest, I never do this year. I think that this year is probably the year I will never have a full tradable team or many tradable players. If you do, you want to list your team up every single day with a 10 or 15% additional market value, just so that on the off chance, you might get some buyers. For example, with me, the only one I've really got in my team, if we go over to my club, is Virgil van Dijk. Now, if I was to list him every single day, one day someone will make a mistake and actually pick him up. I don't know why all the screens or the faces are blurry there. So this one goes for probably like 200k right now, maybe less. So if I was to list it at about 200, enough where the EA tax is going to make up for the lazy sort of difference, I should be able to make a decent bit of coins just by listing my own team. Now, going over to the transfer market, I'd say the easiest thing that you can do behind lazy listing is just bidding on managers. If you take yourself over to the staff section, you have essentially a ton of different budgets. Obviously, France right now, it's pretty impossible to just find them. Brazil has become a little bit easier, so you've got almost the whole page there. You got some at 4.9. For these ones, obviously, you would just essentially want to bid and buy at 4.5. But what you can do is if we take ourselves over to, for example, I think England's probably not a bad example. If we go gold, and I think that they're not too expensive now, to be honest. You can get them for, okay, 400. So these have probably dipped to the point where they're no longer really usable as filter. Let's check Netherlands. Netherlands as well, kind of dipping. Now, the next useful thing that you can do, and it's pretty simple, is obviously going for managers. If you go for Brazil, you just want to snipe at 4.5. It's kind of one of the lazier methods. If you just sit there, any card you get is going to be a 250 coin profit. Now, realistically, on the market right now, there is probably about 10 Brazilian managers. They don't get listed very often, but it's definitely one where you can snag some easy profit. Some people will list it at the absolute minimum when they pack it, so you can make up to sort of 4,500 coins profit. So there's a big availability there. It's just getting that lucky buy, and of course, getting that lucky listing coming up for you. Now, of course, on the consumables front, you can take yourself over to Chemistry Style, and realistically, the main ones that you're going to want to snipe are Hunter, you can go for Hawk. You can, of course, go for the likes of Engine. You can go for, I think, Anchor as well. But Hunter's kind of the one where you're going to make your money. So you can see here, quite a few there at 3k. Let's have a look at 3,000 coins on the dot. So is there much under that? I feel like maybe Hunter's gone down a little bit of value. 2.7. Okay, so there's a couple there. 2.9. 3,000 coins. So realistically, at this point, you're probably looking at sniping them for maybe 2.6, 2.7. If you sell them on for free, the EA tax is going to be 150 coins. It looks like there's too many at 2.9 for that. Okay, so 2.8 is the cutoff point. So actually, yeah, we could probably go for 2.6 or even slightly lower. You've got 1.1s coming up. You've obviously got the bidding option on this, and I think this one is where bidding will come in and help you a lot. I don't think a lot of people who are going to be buying this card are going to be bidding on it. It's a desirable card. People want to use it. They want to get it straight away, and they just can't be bothered. And of course, bidding in the last minute is going to be a little bit harder, but bidding on those cards sort of way off, bidding them up to about 2.5, I think people likely just won't bother competing with you. So it's a nice, easy one to go with. Now, the next lazy thing you can do right now, realistically, is to just head over to informs. Right now, they are silly prices, and of course, you can just make the absolute most of it. So realistically, I think especially with the SBCs that came out today, it's only getting worse. I mean, 25k for a base inform is insane. Yeah, this is ridiculous. You've got Dovabok there, you've got Bio, Pearsons. These are like the worst informs you can have. If you have any in your club right now, absolutely get them gone. Everything is selling for max. You can literally just spam out this filter and make a ton of coins, which is insane, but it works, so you might as well go for it. And it looks like we may have even sold. So Neuer's gone there for 18,000 coins. Now let's just check how much Neuer's actually worth. Make sure that that was a lazy win, because if it was, you've kind of seen the method work in the midst. We didn't check the pricing correctly because we didn't have footbin, so it might be one where actually it's more on the mark with pricing. But let's just check. Can we get one for 18k right now? Let's have a look. 18,250, there's a ton there. We can get 17,500. Realistically, you can get him for 17k. So someone's paid about 1,000 coins over what they had to get that Neuer. So we've made an extra K profit just for lazy listing it. Now, of course, the other lazy profit thing, which you should be doing anyway if you're not already, is heading over to your classic packs. Make sure you complete every single preview pack. And as I always say, if you get 6k value back from the pack, open it, buy it. Just stuff that 1.5k loss, because you've got a chance at another preview pack. And I do think preview pack luck is a thing. They have been pretty good this year. And if you do want to see me open any of these packs, I'll be doing it over on Shorts. So make sure you get your subscriptions in, because we will absolutely be opening these along with that hero pack. And to speak about SBCs, we have to speak about the final lazy way of making some absolute dollar in this game, which is the first sections of the Icon SBCs. So as you can see, I need to finish off the rest of the sections of Stoichkov, but it's looking a bit sticky with the current situation of fodder. But you can see I've completed 2 out of 8 of every single icon, because you get a nice little tradable pack. You can put on tradable players in it. It's free coins out. So if you want to get some easy coins, that's how you do it. And the other way is subscribing to the channel. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed.